Retail and hospitality is changing, with often complex and fragmented systems combined with large volumes of customer data for businesses to make sense of. It's critical to work with the right partners in order to guarantee success. At Tratec Consulting, we help retail and hospitality businesses transform their technology, removing overly bloated processes and creating unified and efficient systems of working throughout. So don't just take our word for it. See for yourself. Tratec Consulting, the leaders in technology transformation across retail and hospitality.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the All Things Borough podcast, the official podcast for Farnborough Football Club, and sponsored by Tratec Consulting. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. I'm Alan, and I'm joined by Simon. It's just the two of us, Simon, because we've got a few little gripes to get off our chest, haven't we?
Well, you have, mate. I'm quite happy, mate. I was, pretty pleased.
Yeah, okay.
Right,
yeah, it's not what you were saying before before I hit record.
Don't know what you mean, mate. Don't know what you mean. Yeah, just
How have you been?
Just the two of us. We
Yeah,
can make
yeah.
it.
We haven't done.
Oh, sorry, mate. Wrong podcast.
Yeah, we haven't done an episode just the two of us because they don't usually go down very well. But
No, no one wants to hear your opinions, mate. That's why they're quite happy with mine, but not yours.
No one's happy with yours. But look, we thought we'd do one because we haven't had much football to talk about, have we? As far as Farnborough goes in the last few games, we've had three postponements.
I thought you were going to say all season then for a minute. If that's a bit harsh.
Well, yeah. But I don't want to speak ill of the club because they might ban us.
Yeah, I'm talking about bans. There's been a few people who've been banned from Twitter, the club Twitter, but for good reason. Good reason, I should add. For good reason. But I should also point out, by the way, as you haven't mentioned it, I'm wearing my Dueling Saints shirt.
That's because no one's interested.
In homage of the Super Bowl on Sunday.
No one's interested though, Simon.
Yeah, I've got Kamara on the back of mine, 41, one of the greatest running backs going.
No one's interested, Simon. Right, let's crack on because we want to make this short and sweet. Shorter than our usual episodes anyway. But look, we've had 3 postponements in the last week and a half or so. 2 of those games were supposed to come against Chelmsford. One recently against Dagenham was postponed. And as we record it's Thursday. With the rain coming in, I suspect that there'll be a pitch inspection at Maidenhead either tomorrow.
Announced imminently. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the best ground for for anything really. But yeah.
Well, look, most grounds at our level aren't really, and pitch inspections and especially early pitch inspections should be. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Should be expected. And just before we came on air, as I said, it is Thursday, and there was a post from on X or Twitter from Dorking saying that there's a pitch inspection at Torquay tomorrow morning. So
that'll be off.
Fully expect that to be off.
Having spent, as you know, most people who knows me fairly well, but I've been stationed in Exeter all last week, and the weather was shocking. So I did actually attempt to go. I was going to go to the Torquay Farnborough game. Which
weren't you? Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I was going to go, but I knew it wouldn't be on because it literally every time I go to Exeter it rains every day. and true to form, this time I was down. I did manage to get out for 2 runs along the River Exe, which was literally it's literally at flood point. There's a rope that goes across it. It's like a little pulley boat thing. And the water was over the top of that, so they couldn't use that because it was it's pretty bad. But yeah, there's no. I'll be. I'll go further actually than what I was going to say. There's no chance that Dorking game will be on Saturday.
Doesn't seem like it, does it? No, because especially down in the southwest, it does get weather-wise, they get the best and the worst of it.
Yeah, well, from all the locals I spoke to, including most of the court staff I was speaking to, it just seems there's no best. It's just the worst of the worst weather all the time. Yeah, because I'm due back down there in June, and I did say to the lovely girl Alice, one of the court staff there. So I said, I'm looking forward to coming back in June when I cleared all the equipment away. I'm looking forward to coming back in June. It'll be nice weather, and she just shook her head and said, "It's never nice down here." So that was that. Apologies to any Exeter people who are maybe listening in, but I'm sure there are other delights of Exeter that I haven't seen yet. But if you
No.
want to drop me a line and let me know where they are, you let me know because I haven't seen them.
Well, I should say on the back of that, Simon, that I do spend a lot of my holidays in the southwest, but there are nice days down there. I can confirm.
Is Poole the southwest?
I've not just Poole,
Well,
but
where
that's
else is there?
south. But I spent a lot of holidays in Cornwall and Devon. I've lived in Devon, and there were
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
good
yeah.
days.
Yeah. That's when you were an ice cream man, wasn't it? That's right. I remember that. Cornish pasty maker. Oh no, postman.
No,
Postman.
no,
No, no, no.
no. I
Oh
had
yeah,
the, I had the, I had the
you
wonderful, I
just
had the
on
wonderful,
just on the
wonderful,
dog.
wonderful. Yeah, exactly. I had the wonderful job called unemployment.
Yeah, in the jury bed sit above a pub. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean that for most blokes that's an absolute dream, really, but not for you. Not for
Well,
you.
well, I
No.
spent most of my days and evenings in one of them pubs down there, but
Anyway,
spending that dull money. Oh,
yeah. And how is the Alcohol Anonymous gigs going? Anyway, are they going all right? Are they still going to counselling?
no, no, no.
Gave it up.
I don't know. I don't know if I ever said I would go, but I haven't been.
Still waiting. Still waiting. The names on the list every week. It says Alan Osler. No, no. Okay, move
Yeah,
on.
yeah. I can just hear them from the bar. I go, yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. Just all you can hear is clinking glasses, and that's all you can hear. And then he's off,
Yeah,
shuffling away. Oh dear. Yes. Anyway, yes.
yeah.
Onto football. By the way,
Onto the foot.
if anyone does have an issue with alcoholism, there's help available. Just yeah,
Yes. No. Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't. We make light of it, but it is
yeah.
obviously a serious
And normally
affliction.
that help's available always after 11 o'clock when the pub's shut as well. So it's always a good thing. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yes.
Anyway.
Moving on.
Look, let's move on because, as I said at the top of the show, we've had three postponed games due to the weather, and there's been some. Can we say is it unsavoury or unwanted or unhelpful comments from certain fans? Not so much our own, because obviously we're the ones that are going through it, but namely probably quite a few Chelmsford ones because we had two of their games were postponed. But I was
Yeah.
just say though, we never said anything about Torquay, did
No, that's
we?
true. No, we didn't. I would go as far as to
When that
say,
was game was postponed.
I would actually say idiotic comments was probably more
Yeah, probably,
appropriate.
probably.
Appropriate.
But look, let's go through them because I think most of
Yeah,
them were Chelmsford.
yeah. I think if we go back a few days to the let's go back a few days to the. I'm actually on the
Simon and
Chelmsford
his
post at the moment.
technology
No,
going
I was on
in.
the wrong post there. I was on the Dagenham one. We won't go to that yet, but oh dear, going back. Oh dear, it's come off the page now. Never mind.
Great, this is
Yeah.
great podcasting there, Simon.
I know this is why we did live podcasts. You see, these things go wrong. You know what I mean? And when you're relying on technology and my fat fingers to scroll, it's never a good thing really. Let's have a look. Here we go. Right, here we go. Yeah. So yeah, we'll give a special mention first to Jack Haint's 5. Yes, apparently the groundsman hasn't done their job. That's right. So I replied, obviously you're clueless, which I thought was
Yeah.
reasonable.
So we should say
You know.
just on that comment alone, we should say that the team and we have to say this because this is what they are, volunteers at the club.
Yeah, I mean Kevin Field do a really
Kevin
good job.
Dyer,
Yeah.
Kevin Dyer, who's chief of all of them, as well as being vice chairman of the club as well.
He doesn't he do he's every job, isn't he?
He does,
Everything.
yeah, he does
Everything
every
in the
job
club.
there.
Kev does it. So
Yeah,
even the
yeah,
50-50 half-time draw, he's been involved in that as well. For you. He even get involved
yeah,
in
yeah.
that.
He does it all. He does
He
it
loves
all,
it. He
and
loves it. He's a proper
all
workaholic,
off his
a bit
own
like
back
me.
as well. So, I mean, they're all volunteers, including Kevin. And he would have been out there most of the day trying to sort the pitch out, fork
Yeah.
it, do whatever they do to try and get the game on.
Well, I'm pretty
He
sure
would
he
have
was
been
down there
working
tonight
hard.
actually, because I drove past the ground on the M3 and the floodlights were on when I went past about 5:15. So I'm pretty sure he was probably there, unless someone was breaking in. But anyway,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, mind you, this. I mean, if they break in, they're not going to turn the lights on, are they?
Well, there are some stupid thieves around, you know. So sounds like something you'd do. I couldn't see where I was going, so I turned the lights on. Your worship.
I can assure you that whenever I've thieved, I've never turned the lights on. Always
No.
carry a torch.
Yeah, very good. Or one of those helmets for
Yeah.
the going down the mines. They're very handy. Yeah. Also, yeah, on that one. Yeah, someone else has put. I can't even pronounce his username. Tim something. He said, "Laugh out loud." That pitch, you know. Well, on that comment alone, I mean, do they not understand? We relayed the pitch in the summer, and it was literally, it's been relayed, leveled, and dug down deep, all the groundwork done, and they've
Yeah,
put it all on there. So
yeah.
there's
A
no
lot of money on that.
yeah, there's no reason. And on that particular comment, Jack Dace, Jack Hance, I don't know, can't pronounce it.
You
Jack
should have really, you should have really practiced these names before we hit
I
record.
did, and that's the best I've done so far. So I'm proud of myself. Um, is that your pitch is absolutely dreadful. I mean, obviously he doesn't know what he's talking about, does he really?
Yeah.
To be honest.
I'll say just on those.
Worst pitch in the league as well. Got that one there. That's another one from Richard Marshall.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'll say just on those comments about the pitch being poor, worst pitch in the league. Like you said, Simon, the pitch was relayed in the summer. Spent a lot of money on it, getting relayed, returfed, everything done. They probably did some with like irrigation to help drainage and stuff like that.
yeah,
And it was all done. It was all all professionally done. The pitch is brilliant. It's lasted as long as it possibly can. There's only so much any pitch can take,
yeah.
water wise, weather
Yeah.
wise,
I mean,
when it
you just have
rains.
to look at
I
the
mean,
amount every time we look out the window at the moment. It's raining, isn't it? So,
yeah,
I mean, as
yeah,
I said to you off air, I managed to get out for a run last night around my area, and that's the first time it's been dry of an evening I said I can't remember the last time we had a dry evening, and it's pouring with rain now.
yeah,
So, it's
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it is what it is. When I say rain, it was loose term, obviously. But yeah,
But
um,
look, this is what I'm saying. These people work really hard to. Firstly, the clubs worked hard to get the pitch relayed and returfed and everything done in the summer to get it to make sure that it is a really good
yeah,
standard of
yeah,
pitch for the season, of
yeah.
which it is. It's probably one of the best grass pitches in the league.
Well, it is, yeah. When if you look back at the
Well,
Dorking game when Mark White's lot came down, he said in his own um, pre-match of the game, he said himself, and I'm quoting here, that I'm looking forward to coming to Farnborough. It's a beautiful new pitch, lovely ground, and they really look after the
which you
pitch
can
down there.
play
It's,
on,
it's
which
a
is
lovely
what
surface
most
to
clubs
play
want to
football on.
do.
So there you go. I
Yeah,
mean, and Mark should know. I mean, he started the club 25 years ago on a council pitches, so he should know a bad pitch when he sees one. And
yeah,
he would definitely
yeah.
call us out, and he has done. And it's a lot of his pre-matches that I listen to on a frequent basis. I mean, he's called out a lot of pitches. I mean, for all those two people that I mentioned, by the way, are both Chelmsford fans. Obviously, they've got issues with having probably travelled down for the first match that was postponed I should add, by no fault of our own, because the referee called the game
Yeah,
off
no, that wasn't our fault.
+1.
That was not our fault.
No, and it
The
was
game
it
was all
was
ready to go ahead.
yeah, yeah. Well, I was there. I appeared through the closed dugout, and realised was the dugout, the turnstile, and there it was. And Carl and Kelly, the turnstile operatives, were there, and they said, "Yeah, referees called it off." So, and that wasn't to do with rain; that was to do with frost. But there we are. I was all right. I was in my shorts. But there we go. But yeah, there's not a lot you can do when it rains, unfortunately. And there's only, as Spencer said on Saturday after the Dagenham
Yeah.
postponement, which we got battered for again by similar idiotic people. In fact, if that's the same person, Will Laird appeared again to relegate you lot now. Apparently, I mean, it's I mean, it'd be a first there if a club got relegated for having a
No,
having.
no, yeah. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I think there might be a few in trouble actually in this level if that was the case. So in
Yeah,
Torquay be in big trouble, they'll probably get 30 points deducted. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
there goes. You know what I mean?
There's only like we said, and you said Spencer said it in one of his interviews after one of the well, not I would say not even after the games because the games never went ahead. But there's only so much. The pitch is really really good.
Yeah,
It's one of the
it
best
is.
pitches out there.
Yeah,
It will take a watering a shower from the weather, but there's only so much any that our pitch and any pitch can actually take. I mean,
yeah,
look at Torquay. I mean, a former football league club. We were due to go down there midweek, but it was called off.
yeah.
Then
That's that. By the way, that's the
probably
first. I
they're
believe
probably going
that's
to
the
get called
first.
off this Saturday again.
Yeah, they will. That's the first home game that they've had to cancel in 4 years. I hear.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that says it all really.
Yeah,
And I know, I
that says it
know, I
all,
know,
really.
I know people might say, "Oh, yeah, but it's a different part of the country, blah blah blah." But it's the same for everybody's pretty much been. They've been
Yeah,
battered worse, to be fair. down in that area. I think they've had 3 named storms across the southwest in the last 3 weeks.
No,
So
yeah,
we've obviously seen a lot of that rain as well. So it's just the way it is. It's the way it is. Well, do you know what we should have got on tonight? We should have got one of the weather forecasters on. Lucy Verasamy would have been quite good, or Joe Blythe. Someone reasonably knowledgeable and good to look at, a bit like me. That would have been good.
that's two names in. I've got no idea who they are. So.
I forgot you don't watch the TV, do you? You don't watch telly, you don't watch news, don't watch the weather. That's
Don't watch
why.
news.
That's why he always goes out with just a t-shirt on, expecting it to be sunny, and it's pouring with rain. You know what I mean?
No, no. Unlike some of the idiots that are commenting on our posts, I look out the window and I have this thing. I have this funny little thing on my phone. It's called the weather app.
Oh, right, yeah. I forget you're reliant on technology, Alan, aren't you? You just don't need to use your own eyes. Just keep the curtains shut.
Well, no. Looking out the window is not technology.
Well, no, well, it depends if you've got electric blinds, doesn't it? You know, what I mean, you'd have to,
It always reminds me of that. You've watched what was that Robin Williams film, Good Morning Vietnam, and he does
Yeah,
his radio show,
yeah.
and he does like a funny bit where he's saying, "Oh, what's the weather? What's the weather like today?" And he said, "You want to know what the weather's like? Look out the window. You can see what the weather's like."
Oh, see, yeah, true. Is that
That's
your
what
is
they
that
think
your
people
is
need to
that
do.
is that your motif of life? Is it? Good
Yeah,
morning,
look out
Vietnam.
the fucking
Good
window.
morning. Yeah, it does remind me a little bit about Ben actually on the radio in the on the Farnborough FC radio, blasting out before match days. It reminds me a bit like that. But, there we are. Yeah, well there we are.
Look, we've had there's not we, but there's been the club has had some disparaging comments, and I think one guy in particular seems to have got it in for us.
Yeah. One guy in particular called Caulfield 1390. He's I can't actually repeat what he's called us, but
Why not?
it begins with C and ends in S. So I don't want to. I can see the clogs turning there. See you next
Oh,
Tuesday. See you next Tuesday. He said. Which was fine, which was a shame really because the game was on Wednesday. That's a shame that so we didn't quite get there. But yeah, so a couple of the Borough fans have chimed in and said, calm down, sausage, and rattled by a bit of rain. So there we are. But he didn't respond, so he obviously had his meds and was sedated for the rest of the day.
there's been a few of them, and if you mentioned one called Will Laird or something,
Yeah, we'll have
he's had a few jibes at the club.
had a few pops.
Um,
Yeah,
but what I don't understand is obviously, firstly, they're part of this league. I mean, so they know what it's like being in this league with pitches, weather, and stuff like that. So they know they understand what it's like. It happens to them. It's going to happen to every other club.
yeah.
It's,
Well,
it's
to be
happened
honest
to,
with you, though, Chelmsford are a fine one to talk with their pitch. And they're running track around it. I mean, bloody, it's a disgrace, really. And I saw some of the we played there last year. It was Spencer mentioned it before and after the game. So the pitch was
yeah,
diabolical, I think is what he called it, and
yeah.
it was rutted and all sorts. I mean, when you've got the at one end of the ground, you've got the shot put net at one point, or the discus net at one end. You know what I mean? It's in it's not the best advert, is it really? Let's be honest. But there we are. Sorry, it's a multi-purpose stadium, isn't it? I forgot that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, maybe the running track serves as a part of the drainage, so it helps
Yeah,
helps it helps with the flooding.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Drains off the pitch and floods the running track instead.
Handy for some of the lads to warm up on as well. Though they have to walk on the muddy
Yeah,
side. You know what I mean?
yeah,
There's always one area of the pitch and there's like the mud everywhere, and no one wants to do the warm up
yeah.
on. But yeah, very handy. But there we are. That's the way it is. But yeah, like I say, we've got a home game next home game is the 18th, and then we've got the 25th, and also a game against Enfield on the Saturday. In between that, 3 home games on the trot. So I think it's we've got Dagenham on the 18th, Enfield on the 21st, and then home to Chippenham on the 25th. And 2 away games before that. Saturday's game is Mansfield. I wish it was. It was Maidenhead, and then we're away to Dorking on the Valentine's Day. So that's the next 5
We what do
games.
we what do we yeah, so what do we reckon our chances are then of this weekend going ahead?
Well, I think limited. I would say. I mean, if talk, I mean, I know it's a different area, but if Torquay are already looking at maybe chopping their game, then I can't imagine ours will be on. And they
Well,
get they
looking
get
at looking
cancelled
at
their game.
the looking at the fixtures, If Torquay are going to be doing a pitch inspection, then I would imagine teams like Western, they're at home, they might be doing the same thing.
Oh, Western will be off.
Salisbury at home, they might be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Bath are at home, they might be doing the same thing.
Well, you'll put it this way: the only two games that were played on Tuesday night. Obviously, we were due to play Monday, didn't. Tuesday
Yeah,
night, the only two games we played were at Dover, and of all accounts from the Torquay guys that we talk to quite regularly, it was absolutely shocking. The weather is awful, terrible conditions, but they did get the game completed. And the other game was at Ebbsfleet, which is quite lucky. I think they've got one of the best stadiums and pitches in the whole of the
yeah.
league, and they've obviously spent millions of pounds on it. So that the only two games that took place. All the rest got postponed for waterlogged pitches. So we weren't alone. If we even if we played Tuesday, we might if we annoyingly enough, if we had played Wednesday night, which was unfortunately the game that the night that Reading wanted to play their under-21 game on last night, was probably the only night this week that it could have possibly have got a game on it. And I'm not just talking about our pitch. That's across any pitch in any league and non-league. Yeah, it was a bit disappointing. A bit
There was a
unfortunate.
comment there, wasn't there? There was a comment about the Reading the under 21 game that was going ahead. There was a comment the day before, wasn't there, saying, "Oh, I bet that game goes ahead."
Well, he was right. It did go ahead. Yeah, well done. Good.
Well, it did go ahead, yeah, but it was
Yeah,
the club that
but
kind of had to make
yeah,
sure it went ahead.
yeah. Obviously we don't know the name of the sources, but the club were basically told the game had to go ahead, irrespective
Yeah,
of the conditions. So
yeah,
there was no kind of we don't want to play it because the pitch is going to get cut up. It was play it or you're in deep trouble basically. So yeah, it was and it was and obviously the club would have lost on a fortune again, which they lost. They lost at least nearly £2,000 after Saturday's game got cancelled because they still had to pay all the stewards and all the non-volunteer staff. They had to pay all of those as well, plus all the food. And obviously, the club did a good thing by giving the Dagenham fans a bit of food and a drink each if they wanted it, because they obviously got to the ground at 1:45, and then the game got cancelled 15 minutes later. So disappointing.
yeah.
Despite I should add being a pitch inspection completed at 10:30 in the morning, it was passed. So but there we are.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, see, with that game, because obviously I was on my way down as well. I was stuck in Hemel at about 1:45 when I
Yeah.
found out that there
Well,
was going to be
I
a one
rang you,
o'clock
didn't
pitch
I? I rang
inspection,
you
and
up
you
and
rang
said,
me, yeah,
don't put over, don't go any further because it's
yeah,
going to be off. And I was looking out
yeah,
the window and it was pouring with rain. I thought, mate, it's not no
yeah. But this is the kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So the game was past the pitch inspection in the morning at half past
Yeah,
10, and the game was going ahead. That's fine. And then at 12 o'clock, we had down in Farnborough. They had a massive heavy downpour for about 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes,
yeah.
and that's it. That killed the pitch.
Yeah,
That
well,
killed the game.
Spencer said, didn't he? He was coming down he was coming along the M3 from his
Yeah,
home, and it was pouring with rain, and he was looking at
pouring
it,
rain.
thinking,
Yeah,
probably not going to happen, is it?
yeah.
So, what do you do?
When you know the pitches in this league, you know when the heavy downpours like that
Yeah,
are pitch killers,
yeah,
and I just think that before we sign off, I think that a lot of fans in this league, and probably it's probably the same. I dare say it's probably worse in the National League North because they get quite bad weather up there as well. But there's some of these people just need to calm the fuck down. Do you know what I mean? They need to calm down
yeah,
and really understand where they are and the teams that they're following, the teams that
yeah,
are in the league that they're following.
yeah. I agree. I agree with it completely. And also, they need to, you know, get a grip.
Think before you fucking type.
Yeah, yeah, get a
You know
grip.
what I mean?
But
Think before you fucking type.
also, I know we all. While saying that, even though we are sympathetic both sets of fans that have come to Farnborough and not had a game,
Course,
because it's a lot.
course.
It's a big. They're probably up at 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
On the
yeah,
coach at 10. If and
yeah,
traveling along. So I understand it's frustrating, but it is unfortunately what happens. And I'll still go back to last season. I mean, Aldershot in the National League, they had to cancel the game at 2:15, and the club they were playing Halifax. Can you imagine that?
yeah,
So
yeah,
all
yeah,
the fans were
yeah.
there
I
in the
know.
ground.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
seen, and the Bracknell game also got cancelled. We had the day we had Chelmsford that got postponed because of frost. A lot of something. I was going to go to Bracknell. I was about to leave to go there, get there for about half time just to see half a game of football, and that got called off at 3:15, and everyone was in the ground then. So
yeah.
it happens. It could have. I was going to say it could have been worse, but it's probably not valid really. It doesn't get any worse than not even getting off the coach and having to travel all
But
the way back. But
but it also happens. It doesn't happen just to non-league clubs. It happens in the professional game as well. I mean,
yeah,
look, was it Wednesday night? Was it in Scotland in the
yeah,
Scottish Premier League? Two games were called off. Two
yeah.
games were
Well,
postponed.
Aberdeen Celtic got called off. I mean, that's
Yeah,
Aberdeen to get a game called off. I know they get some pretty
yeah,
arse weather up there, but even so, it's yeah, pretty unheard of. But it happens. It happens in all, of course, all sorts of love. And we would, I think I speak for yourself, speak on your behalf here, but we would just urge all fans just to have a bit of perspective. Put it down to a life experience, and laugh it off. That's all you can do, isn't it? Really, what else can you do?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
And
know?
above all, two things: think before you type,
Yeah.
before you say something that you're going to regret, because people are going to come back at you.
Yeah, well, you're going to make yourself
Mark
look
my
like an
words.
idiot and an arsehole if you put the wrong thing
Yeah,
in. So
exactly, exactly.
I don't know, it's very easy to type and think at the same time. I think is what they do rather than engaging their brain first.
yeah,
But,
yeah,
but there we
exactly.
are. It is what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and also, like I said, just calm the fuck down. I mean, it's just at the end of the day, it's just a game of football. Nobody
yeah,
wants. We all want the game to go ahead, but this is what happens. I mean, at these levels,
yeah.
this is
Well,
what
but
happens.
as I reiterated, we understand the time commitment that you've had, and also probably the money you've spent as well. You've probably had a bit of a miserable journey, but it could be worse. Just do like I do and just sort of shut my eyes and go to sleep and wake up and you're back at the club again, aren't you? No, could be worse. Then
Yeah.
then then struggle to sleep for the next 2 nights because you've just slept during the day. So that's the way it is. But it happens. Anyway,
No,
right,
well, but
there we go. So anyway, yeah. So Saturday's game, I'd say doubtful. Well, I would categorically say this: we'll definitely have a game on Valentine's Day. So if you do need a really good excuse not to take your missus out, there's one for you. But I would
yeah,
also add that I've also mentioned this to one of my mates at Farnborough. If you are thinking of coming to Dorking and don't know what to do with your missus, bring her along. There's a nice fish and chip shop just outside the train station. Stick her in there with a tenner, and then meet her afterwards.
yeah. So solid and sound relationship advice from Simon Watson there.
Soon to be divorcee. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I've been pushing you to do that for years, Simon.
Yeah,
You
it's
still
only
haven't
because
done
you
it.
want me all for yourself. That's what it is. I'm not having it.
You got to join the club, mate. You got to join the
Yeah,
club.
true. Yeah, that's true. I need to become the next annual member of
The divorce club.
the divorce club. Yeah, you and Mark added to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
if that's not if that's not something for any of these fucking haters to comment on against us, then I don't know what is.
Uh, yeah, can't wait, can't wait. Yeah, any
Oh,
comments?
I wonder why you divorced. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, you only got to just look at us. You know what I mean? That's probably one good reason. You just see what we
Speak
are.
for yourself, mate.
I mean, I'm a fine looking man. How about you? I was trying to be nice by saying us.
Yeah.
I didn't say
Right.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Should we sign off?
Yeah, enough said. We'll
Yeah.
sweep.
Sign off.
We'll, I
Look,
was gonna say
regardless, I should say,
squeegee
regardless
that
of what.
we'll squeegee it under the carpet. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
now.
But
Yeah.
look. Hopefully, all or even a lot of games do go ahead this weekend,
Yeah,
including
really.
ours against Maidenhead. But if not, despite everything that we've said, with all the weather that is coming and that will happen, just obviously take care of yourself while you're out and about in the car, or if you're out walking in it, because it's not nice if you crash. Because like if you drive like Simon, it's going to happen.
No, you won't. No, no. So it's fast and safe. I always say to JJ in the back of the car.
Fast and safe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fast and safe. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And he always repeats it. Yeah, fast and safe, Daddy. He goes. Yeah, good boy, good boy. Yeah. If you can't be safe, bring some speedos. That's what I suggest. And a swimming
Yeah,
hat.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you're going to need them.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
But happy
Okay.
days.
Look,
Well, I
this
don't know
leaves
about you,
me.
but I feel much better now. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm glad. Yeah, let off a bit of pent up
There's,
frustration.
there's a sort of a weight lifted off my shoulder, but that might be just
Yeah, but
wind.
look, if you if, if
Yeah.
if you're going to comment on the club's Twitter or the club's Facebook about postponements or anything like that, do please have the respect to reply to any of us that respond to you, because if you don't reply, you just look more of a swat. Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Are
This
you doing your
episode
best
was.
Michael Caine impression there with your finger?
I am. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm
Don't
trying.
throw those bloody spears at me. Very good.
Respond when I reply.
That is terrible. No, Right. Anyway,
Right.
thank you. Thanks for listening and watching.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, everyone. This episode was sponsored by Tritech Consulting, unfortunately, taking your business visions and turning them into innovative reality. For more information, visit tritechconsulting.co.uk. That unfortunately was for Matt because he's unfortunately sponsored a rant.
I said, yeah, I didn't know where you're going with that for a minute. I don't know if you're too happy.
Yeah.
No, we
Yeah.
still like Matt and Tritech Consultant. I should add. So there we
Yeah,
are.
no, we do.
Anyway,
We love them. We love them. We love them. But he has essentially sponsored
he's
a
back up.
30-minute rant.
And if Matt does listen to
Uh,
it, I will get in touch with you this week at some point. I haven't spoken to you for a few weeks. So, yeah, anyway. Right, anyway, thanks for listening. Yeah, take
right.
care. All the best.
Thanks for listening.
Stay
Thanks
dry.
for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be back soon, unless we've been barred by the club with another episode. See you all soon.